So we're here today at the International AIDS Conference in Durban, South Africa, and we're making a video for Hive's blog. And so, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Pershley, and I'm from an organization called LoveLife. And what LoveLife is, it's an organization that its vision is to empower the future of young people. So they're taking young people through a leadership journey where they equip them with the skills that will ensure that they reach their goals or the vision that they have. Initially, when LoveLife started as an HIV prevention campaign, because at that time there was a high rate of HIV prevalence amongst young people. So then LoveLife went on to fight the scourge of HIV amongst young people. And they did that through, because at that time there were a whole lot of things contributing factor to the high rate of HIV. And one of them was that parents were not talking to their children about sex, which are some of the things that were affecting young people. So what young people engage in sexual activities without knowing what exactly is happening. And because of that, LoveLife was then trying to bridge this thing, because parents believe that it's a taboo for parents to talk to their children about sex. So LoveLife was bridging that gap, where they bring parents and young people in one space, and then they'll engage about issues that are affecting young people. And that's one of the programs that they're implementing. And the program is called Free Dialogues. So they'll have dialogues with young people combined with their parents, and then they will engage with issues that are affecting different communities. Yeah.
So I've heard you talk before about this groundbreaker model.
Yes.
And would you like to describe for me what that is and how it's implemented through the organization?
So because LoveLife is an NGO that targets or works with young people, they have two target markets. It's the 12 to 19, which are young people who are still in school. And then they also have 19 to 25, which are young people who just graduated from high school. Now the 19 to 25, they train them as they are groundbreakers. So that's the model that I was talking about. They train them on how to facilitate their programs. So they equip those young people with skills and the programs. They make them they familiarize themselves with the programs that LoveLife are implementing. And then they implement those programs in different communities to the target market, which is between 12 and 19. So they then take those. So what they do is they take them on a camp for 3 weeks. They teach them about all the programs that LoveLife is offering. But they're doing two things. So while they're equipping them on those programs, they're also ensuring that they equip themselves, the groundbreakers. Because they don't want to take young people who are the groundbreakers to teach these young people that are in communities about something that they themselves are not, that program is not helping them. So they're making sure that the program is helping the groundbreakers and the people that the groundbreakers are implementing their programs to.
Oh, so it goes both ways. Yeah, that's very powerful.
Yes, yes.
You talked before about taboo, and so I think that's very much related to stigma. And I was wondering if you could talk about some of the specific ways in which stigma affects youth and how, moving forward, we can try and combat that stigma to free youth.
Yeah. So one of the things that we found out was that young people are not accessing the services that are being offered in clinics, and those services are reproductive services, like sexual reproductive services, like your contraceptives, be it the ones that are used to prevent you from getting pregnant, like condoms or pills. And the reason was because when young people go to the clinic, when they see any young person going to the clinic, they start viewing them as, why are they going to the clinic? Maybe they are pregnant, or maybe they are going to get condoms. It means they are sexually active. So they will have all these things that they are talked about. So as a result, young people will develop a fear of going to the clinic. And them not going to the clinic will then mean that they are not able to access all the services that can help them to be protected from HIV or early pregnancies. And as a result, because of that stigma, it will then create the high rate of teenage pregnancy in a community and the high prevalence of HIV. So that then, it's in a way, it's affecting young people. So what LoveLife does is to reduce that stigma. They have hubs which they call chill rooms. What chill rooms does is it's more like a building where they place it at a clinic, and that's where young people will come and meet, and they will be given they will participate in different programs of LoveLife. And in that way, when young people are coming to the clinic, they won't be perceived as they're going to get condoms, or maybe they are pregnant. It will be like or they go into chill room, you see.
Yeah.
So even if I want to test for HIV, it will be like I'm going to chill room, right? But just out of chill room, I can just quickly go to the clinic and go and test without being afraid of people might think that I'm going to test, or people might think I'm going to receive, people might like, I won't be afraid that people might think I'm HIV, because that's what normally communities would do. Whenever you go into the clinic, the other says, oh, he's going to get ARVs, or maybe he's pregnant, maybe she's pregnant, and all those. But if you are going to the children, or if you have an excuse of going to a clinic without going inside the clinic, it's better for you, because you won't have to be afraid of, maybe people might think I'm going to collect any of the services that are offered, but they might think I'm going to children, which is where LoveLife is at.
It's very interesting. So I hear that you're creating new spaces in clinics, in
Yes.
showrooms. What other spaces is LoveLife present in?
We also present at in schools. So we present in because in schools that's where we meet young people. So we meet young people and then we implement our programs. And we are normally offered the live orientation subject, because amongst the subject that they do in high school is a live orientation subject. So that's the subject that they normally give us, where we come and teach them about our programs. And one of the objectives of the program that we offer is to educate young people about the services that are offered at LoveLife, the AYFS, which is Adolescent Friendly Services. Because because Department of Health would like their clinics to be conducive for, like, adolescents should be able to access all their services. So we as LoveLife, when we teach young people about
So when you were talking about adolescent-friendly services in clinics.
Yes. Yeah, so those are the services that are normally offered in clinics. And one of the challenges also is the nurses that are offering those services. Nurses are also not friendly towards young people. And as a result, that's one of the things that causes young people to not to be free to go to the clinics. So the AYFS services does not just include LoveLife telling young people about those services, but they also train nurses how to ensure that they treat young people in a way that they will come back again and access those services. They also teach young people about their rights, because some nurses feel when a young person comes and access contraceptives, because in the same community, they then go and tell their parents that your child was here and he was getting condoms, it means your child is having sex. Yeah. As a result, nurses are then taught on the ethics that they need to follow, the things that they need to do to ensure that they protect the privacy of young people. Yeah.
I also had a question about how you engage with schools and administrators.
Yes.
And so you were saying that the groundbreakers go in and engage with administrators. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so young people are during the training that they go through, they are also trained, because remember they are taken on a leadership journey, and leadership include taking an initiative and having to lead people, right? So they are then equipped on skills like community mobilization and stakeholder engagement. So stakeholder engagement equips them in ensuring that they can be able to engage with any stakeholder in their community. And that includes the principals that are in school. So that's why they go to a principal, they introduce LoveLife programs, and they ask to implement their programs in that particular school.
Gotcha, so it's one school at a time.
Yes, it's one school at a time, yeah. But so they are given targets. Yeah. They are given targets. They need to ensure that they recruit at least 5 schools per year, so that they can be able to have the number of teams that they need to register every year.
So we have your magazine here from LoveLife. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's in the magazine, who the magazine reaches, what, you know?
Yeah. So this is a magazine called an Uncut, and normally,
Yeah, there we go.
This is a magazine called Uncut, and normally, how you'd find a magazine in shops and you'll have to buy it. Now, LoveLife then came up with a strategy of giving young people a free magazine where they can be able to read about the latest news that are related to them. So anything that is affecting young people, that's when these magazines are given, are sent to all 9 provinces in South Africa, and they are sent in. So they are regularly sent at our hubs, which are the chill rooms. So that's why young people can be able to access these magazines, and they can get very interesting information about young people.
This is great. Okay, so I have a few quick, fun questions for you,
okay.
and I'd love if you could answer them in 1 or 2 sentences
Yes,
to get like a very clear message. What is one thing that you would want a youth living in South Africa to know about their reproductive and sexual health?
It's that the services that are there in clinics are offered for them, so that they can be protected, and they can be able to get to their future without having any things that are stopping them from getting there, like HIV and teenage pregnancy.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what is one thing that you want adults to know about youth reproductive and sexual health?
That it's important that they take care of their health and they are familiar with their bodies, especially for girls to know about their menstrual cycle and what to do when they are having periods.
Yeah.
And also the guys to know about, for example, wet dreams, what does it mean, so that they are not shocked, why are these things happening. Yeah.
And what do you see the purpose of this conference being in helping to bring reproductive and sexual health to youth?
Yeah, I think for me, what the conference aims to do is bringing a whole lot of people that are in the HIV space or that are trying to combat the spread of HIV, and showcasing their different ways of, because we live in different countries with different cultures, and as a result, you can't just use a blanket approach to fight the scourge of HIV. So I see it as coming together and seeing what we can learn from different interventions and what is it that we can take and then go and implement it in our communities to strengthen what we are already doing. Yeah.
And if people want to learn more about LoveLife and what you do in South Africa, is there a website where people can read more?
Yes, we have a website which is LoveLife.org.za. We also have a Mobi site which is ilovelife.mobi, where you register and then you get incentives for participating in the quizzes that they ask. So that's one of the programs that we run, where young people will subscribe, they register, and then they climb up to the rank. So the more questions you answer, the more points you earn, and with those points you are then able to...
Well, Pershley, thank you so much for being here with us today and doing
Yes.
this video for Hive.
Yeah.
Is there any last thing you want to say?
It was a pleasure, and thank you for taking interest in what you're doing and hoping to have more engagement in the future.
Thank
And
you
feel
so
free if you want to know anything about the youth of South Africa and some of the interventions that we're doing in South Africa. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Pershley.
Thank you.